There's one star in the background that's already been there for a while, and then here's the plane. Nose, green light, red light, all the characteristics of a plane. Not a big deal. So I zoom out just a little bit and I stay consistent. As I do that, I pan to the right and boom, you got it. Bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Yes. Not only did this thing fly into my frame from behind me, but it also jumped up in the air and went down like it was in an Olympic diving contest from the platform, doing a triple gainer and a backflip at the same time. If I was a scoring judge, I would give this star a 10, and it would have the 2021 Tokyo Olympics medal. Very good. Now, to add some icing onto this cake, let me just take a second here. You know, I've been doing this for 6 years, over 6 years. It's not easy to catch a star moving into your frame during basically dusk, blue sky. It's not easy to not be aware of where this thing is, the star, not be aware of that it was behind me, moving toward me. I mean, I know stars move because I had an experience. I saw one. Not so easy to have that happen. And believe me, with a full heart, I'm telling you, I know that because I do this all the time. But something else happened. I started saying to myself, wait a second. Where's its sister star? Oh, it's up there somewhere. That's not the right position. I can see that. You guys really can't. That's because I've got some weird eyes, and I'm just able to see paranormal type activity better than the average bear because I've been doing this for so long. So it's on its way. It came from this direction downward. I can see it, and it's late to the ball, Cinderella. That's what it is. I mean, this star is entangled with another star. Okay, it's missing. That is historically inaccurate. This cannot happen. It will not happen in a physical, objective reality. It cannot happen. If it's real physical objectivity and consciousness is not fundamental and we're here for no reason, not even for evolution, we're just on some random rock spinning 1,000 miles an hour and then going 25,000 miles an hour around the sun, and the sun's going 7,000 miles around our galaxy, and our galaxy's going 185,000 miles around the universe, and whatever other number you want to throw in there, with the exception of a gravitron ride at a fucking carnival, which, by the way, if you throw up in the gravitron ride, which spins around in a circle, right, the throw up goes back on you, which is the best way of... We'll put it this way. If you're on gravitron, make sure no one's next to you. All right. So the other star's missing. Where is it? There, we got 2-for-1 special. 2 for 1. We got a BOGO here at Publix, everybody. Buy one, get one free. One star will fly into your frame before the sun goes down. And we're going to have another one come from the background. So there's multiple ways that the larger consciousness system can put these stars together. And I'd like to thank the larger consciousness system. What does that mean? Well, when you live in a simulation, this can happen. Because this is not real. Your consciousness, which is a data stream of information, and your brain, which actually has a huge surface area. Because remember, in this world that we live in, a room that has a ceiling and 4 walls around the side, or maybe you have an octagon, maybe it's different, 8 walls, whatever. The walls and the perimeter can fill in the entire volume for the information necessary to create anything. Wall, ceiling, maybe even the floor. Whatever the surface area is in this reality is enough to create the full volume of every single particle inside that location. The surface area of what the object is. Well, that's basically immersing a higher dimensional object into a lower dimensional scale, like a hologram. There it is. Now, as you can see, hold on, the star is kind of moving a little bit. It's jostling, so it disappears because what it's trying to do is make certain that it corrects itself. Now, this distortion here, you can see a little bit of like a shape, right? Okay, those are vectors. Those are electromagnetic waves and information. The electromagnetic spectrum is connected because there's information telling it to be connected. There's your answer that nobody can answer. Information is connecting those two. Why? Because it's more efficient. Wouldn't it be nice to have electricity travel through a magnetic scale or spectrum? This way, it's kind of like just coasting along and doing what it's supposed to do magically. All right, a little bit more. Oh, it's gone again. Not sure where it wants to be. Do you see how it disappears? Okay. What is a blue sky? Oh, it's a clear sky. No. No. A blue sky is a blue sky. It is not clear. Well, it is because the star... No. The stars get manufactured every day and get destructed during the nighttime. They get constructed and deconstructed every morning. Okay? This is proof of it. I just flew into an area where this guy here, Hercules, should have been there the whole time. And this one was like, oh, shit, that Greg Louganis dive that guy just did, 1984 Olympics or whatever, 88, dating myself. I'm going to go the back way here and just kind of blink my way into there. That wasn't there either. So we got a BOGO. Buy one, get one free. So for you guys that are in this objective physical reality, and that star is still disappearing. It's still disappearing. But eventually it's going to brighten up. There we go. And now it's, I've always been here, everybody. Nothing to see here. This is very hard to film. Not only getting this star coming from nowhere, because it was not there, to showing up now. Just to get that is difficult. But to get this during a daytime image, fly into, almost day, dusk, fly into your frame. From behind you to my right side, which would be the east. Then come into the frame, then jump up, and then jump back down, and then stop. What you just saw, if you believe in a physical objective reality, is that star, based on Einstein's equations, if you don't believe that consciousness is fundamental, what you just saw is an impossibility. And if that did happen, that star is 1,500 light years away, which means it takes the packets of photons 186,000 miles per second to get here, and it takes 1,500 years of traveling 186,000 miles per second to get here. So therefore, you really can't see this thing do a backflip triple gainer into a pool of quantum soup while the sun's still basically up, almost going down, and dive into a pool of blue water. You can't see that. That's impossible, sir. Because if you believe that the physical objects is what creates our consciousness to think, even though that's totally irrelevant when you have dreams or out-of-body experiences. But nonetheless, if you believe that, then what I'm showing you is impossible. It's impossible. You know it, I know it, most physicists know it. But they're not going to tell you. See, they want to prove a simulation by, all these crazy things. We want to have a underground base and an underground tank filled with very heavy water, which is very expensive, with certain ionization in it and electron free and this and that and that. And then we want to have exactly 150 feet below ground. And then we got to put this special ionized cage over it, and also laser beams that go around the side. And also we want to have these special particles that just go through Earth. And then we want to see if there's any type of radiation or some sort of ionization process with the electrons and the protons and neutrons. And then we're going to count them up, and that's going to take us a long time. How about this? How about somebody just films a star flying there? Instead of you spending more money of useless money to prove with cosmic rays that you live in a simulation, why don't you just call me up, NASA? Which they won't do. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I'll film it for you. You don't have to do that. You guys go to Harvard and Princeton and Yale? Really? Have we turned into Russia, where we just hand out certificates? Well, I guess if you're George W. Bush or any people that's politically correct, connected, you could. But besides those elites and people that have special needs that are taken care of, we don't have to build that whole construction, guys. Obama's scientific advisor, remember that guy? Yeah, it drops a bombshell in 2012. We found error correcting codes deep inside string theory's equations. So something's going on. Well, great, sir. You just opened a whole can of worms of simulation theory. Okay? But then Isaac Asimov, they talked about simulation. And of course, you said that although there's error correcting codes inside these equations, which is like a fucking computer, right? You said you don't believe in the simulation theory. I'd like to know how much money Obama's administration paid you to say that, sir, when you're the one who really, beside Nick Bostrom and Thomas Warren Campbell, all right, or Franken, or John Wheeler, those physicists, who I'd like to know how much they paid you to say that with your sunglasses on. Would they buy you Ray-Bans that day? And is it too bright to be on the stage? Yeah, he doesn't believe in it anymore. But yet there's error correcting codes inside string theory, which was the biggest waste of time. Strings of what? Oh, well, it's the harmonics of the universe. The harmonics of the universe, science. Let me ask you some questions, okay? Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? What is gravity? We don't know. We can describe it. Carl Sagan says that, astonishing claims requires astonishing truth and evidence. Well, this is evidence. You're not going to believe me anyways, but you guys already know this is happening. But you don't want to share it with the public. Isn't that true? Poor David Sereda saw all those ultraviolet flares and giant jellyfish-like objects flying into formation. Little did he know they were stars. He did help NASA out do a lot of things. He got lied to by Boyd Bushman. I love David Schrader. He was great. Little did he know that he was watching stars. If I could just get a hold of him, be like, there's stars, David. You were so close. There's stars. I would have never known this information. I would have never known this. I would never tell anybody this. But these things act like they've been there for years. The whole time. Nothing to see here. Okay. I am an observer. And although I appreciate people, wow, man, look at you, man. Wow, you're a wizard, man. I can't believe all the shit you film. This is unbelievable. This is a real camcorder, guys. That's why I'm showing to you like this. Who's watching me? Remember that song? I always feel like somebody's watching me. And I got no privacy. Here comes a star. Let's slow this down a little bit. Yes! It came from behind me. It shot up in the air. Oh, it's going to leave my frame. See, I'm notorious for filming these, going into my frame and then leaving, or having a UFO go, holy shit, and go that way, whatever. I leave up the anomalies up to the interpretation of the viewer, just like Isaac Newton. Except this time, we can't do that, because this thing drops down, which is a pretty big violation of the general theory of relativity. We can say that. This is not a small star. This is about probably, 1,000 times bigger than our star, maybe. Yeah, well, no big deal. This thing's a billion, gazillion, trillion, right, miles away. So, speed of light can't travel that fast for me to even film something that far away. It takes too long. Remember? That's why when you see the light, you're looking back billions and millions of years. No, they're just lights. That's all they are. And once you believe that and understand that, and you ask the larger consciousness system for more, because most people that get nudges and get experiences, they let society convince them that they're stupid and that they didn't see that. And once you believe that, you've lost the gift that the larger consciousness system gave you, God, the higher entity. What is this video about? It's about that your reality is larger than just this. There's more to it. And that science doesn't have the answers. It doesn't have the answers. He's coming from the back. See? See? So anyways, real quickly. Blue is not clear. Clear is clear. Clear is clear. Blue is a color. This is a dark emitting diode, not a light emitting diode. This dark emitting diode, it's like you having a flashlight. It can actually, in a lighted room, a dark emitting diode flashlight, which is, I think, classified technologies, emits a black light of darker photons, very dark photons, and they will cover your skin and your face. That's why these stars can inevitably just show up out of nowhere, because they're hiding behind the blue wall. The other side of that wall is the shield. The shield has many rotating fourth dimensional corners and nooks and crannies. And that's where these things come from. This one came from behind me. It was traveling and it had panicked because it didn't think I was going to film the plane. And I wasn't. It was just like, fuck it, I'll do it. Since the plane was already behind the tree at that point, it was illogical. Simulation's probabilistic. Cody's not going to do that. He's not that crazy to try to film a plane in a tree. Holy shit, he is. Greg Louganis, get on the diving board. Spring, he jumps in. And then that guy, I better go the back door. Yeah, through the back door, right. Double bust. And I filmed this before. But not like this. Not this visible. Not this amazing. And again, all probabilistic chance. This plane doesn't fly by, I probably don't go in that area. In fact, I know I wouldn't have gone in that area. Just zoom out a little bit, okay? Keep it the same, consistent. Boom, star stops right there. Do you see how fast that is? And that's why people say that I'm not too happy when I go to the air and sea shows anymore. Well, how the hell could you be when I film stuff like this every day? No, I'm just kidding. No, actually, no, it is quite boring because this is better. And there's no debate anymore. UFOs don't have pairs of stars that line up with it and say, okay, honey, I'm home. Right? These are stars, guys. Go out, look. When the sun goes down, look on the western side of the sky, and you'll see them right in the center, depending where you live. Western sky, there's two pairs of them. And they're out west, and they eventually go off the grid and they go off to the horizon line. But this star is still very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because it knows its partner's there, and it's still being covered by a dark emitting diode type of technology, where blue, the color of blue, is not clear. Clear is clear. Blue is a mask. Blue is a shield. Blue is a block. Blue is a color. Okay? So that's where these UFOs hide. Where did it go? Many times it didn't go anywhere. It's right near you. It just went on the other side of the simulation. But you and I think we have all this space. No. It only creates the stars the Hubble wants, because the Hubble can only focus on a certain part of the sky. And by the way, 20% of these stars and galaxies are just getting further and further away. We can't see them anymore. So every time we upgrade our telescopes and we bring them out there to see this, we're only going to go see the stuff we've already seen before. So, we're going to see some new stuff, yes. Okay. Plane, great, blah, 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 blah. Come over. All right. Whoa! Honey, hi, honey. How you doing? Hey, where's your other star? Huh? Isn't it too? Oh, there it is. Came through the back door. Oh, my God. This is a miracle. So Einstein's equation says that if some object accelerates, accelerates, and then stops, yes, right, like that one. Okay. Technically speaking, you just watched a star violate the speed of light. Can somebody answer that for me? Yeah, I didn't think so. And so did that one, too. You can't just show up out of nowhere and be like, I'm here now. No. So this one really beat the speed of light because that's 1,500 light years away. And that one is about maybe 1,800 light years away. So this is both times where the universe should have exploded because Einstein's equation says in string theory that, well, I shouldn't say string theory, whatever, general theory of relativity, if any big or massive object accelerates beyond the speed of light, that one, right? Okay, then it would use up all the mass and all the energy of the universe and it would implode. No, Einstein, I appreciate your equations and I think it was very smart of you to figure that out, but really what happens is you have a computer crash. Yes, because the delta t pixel of time and also Planck length, which is 10 to the minus 44, 10 to the minus 43 for Planck time. C is a constant, which is the speed of light. Speed of light is 186,000 miles per second. So even if you're on Elon Musk's rocket ship, hypothetically, and you're going to go to Mars one of these decades, which will probably never happen anyways, but we're going to say it did, and you turn on the headlights, Elon Musk wants you to put on the headlights. He stutters sometimes, and you just say, Roger that. Of course, it's going to take 12 hours for him to receive that message, but nonetheless, they put the headlights on. Now, if that rocket ship's going, I don't know, let's say 50, 60, 75,000 miles an hour, does the speed of light recognize the fact that it's going that fast? It sure does recognize it. Oh, it's going inside. Oh, and the shield, out of the shield, doesn't know what else to do. Because you know why I'm filming it. That's why. It's like, damn it, this Cody is good. This son of a bitch. That plane. This is only possible in a conscious simulated reality. Planck length and Planck time. Planck length is 10 to the minus 44. That's a very small number. And what happens is when you keep cutting it in half, theoretically, if you live in a physical objective reality, what would happen basically if you cut that beyond 10 to the minus 44? This is what would happen. You, in a physical world, objective world, you would be able to cut it to 10 to the minus 44, 10 to the minus this, 10 to the minus that. That's what you'd be able to do. Okay? And you can keep going infinitely. As long as your equipment is good, you can keep going infinitely to 10 to the minus 1,375,000. Theoretically, you could do that based on how good your equipment is, okay? Well, no matter how good our equipment is, once we get past 10 to the minus 44, we can't do anything. It's like cracking an egg open and trying to get the yolk back in it. Be like, oh, sorry, let me start this all over again? Okay? No. All you get is a blur. There are no border lines. There are no boundaries. It's a blur. There's nothing to conceive of having a cut. So you can't do it. See how it comes to the tip right here? Look at that, guys. You can't get rid of the icons. It's right there. Look at that shoot up like a rocket, huh? It was probably doing the best it could to get out of my frame. Then it goes down and just stops on a dime. Oh my God, the velocity. It actually does like a circle, like a roller coaster. It's amazing how this thing moves. So your Einstein says if something really did this, like a star like this, what would happen? Well, we wouldn't be alive today, and I would be filming it, and I'd be dying at the same time. Because that would take up all the mass and all the energy of the world. So that would not happen. And that's why people say they see discs all the time. Many times they're wrong. I learned that they're actually seeing stars. Yeah, they're seeing stars that are moving. The only problem is people don't look at the sky and don't care enough about it. Now this thing goes up, circles back around, goes backwards toward me. It covered distance toward me. Did you see that? It was like, whoops, overshot it. You know, like Spaceballs, Dark Helmet. Ludicrous speed, go. You know, Cody's out here. Oh, okay, let's put it on the brakes, Dark Helmet. Oh, no, we've gotten too fast. We can't. Put on the brakes, Dark Helmet. No. No, Dark Helmet. No, I don't care. Do it anyways. Now you're coming through me. I mean, wow. Dark Helmet would have been thrown right through the whole damn... Well, no. Yeah, this is violating speed time. So this is even faster than ludicrous speed on Spaceballs, the movie. Dark Helmet would have flew right through here, and you would have seen a little black dot go, 5-minute coffee break. Dead. That helmet would not be big enough to get him out of that. It would be faster than light speed, I'm just joking, ridiculous speed and ludicrous speed. And we wouldn't all be dead because this star just used up all the energy and mass and everything, and it would crash. But it's not really a crash, it's a computer crash. Because C, the speed of light, when you're in a rocket, 80,000 miles an hour, hypothetically going to Mars, turn on the headlights, and I turn on the headlights like my car is stationary, the speed of light does not know the difference. Or it does know the difference and creates the deduction or reduces the speed to make it the same. And the reason why it does that is because the speed of light has to have a historical accurate time to go to one pixel to the next pixel to the next pixel. Space-time is connected. So therefore, the speed of light is a limitation of information being passed from one pixel to the next pixel. If it was all different speeds, the speed of light, or the speed of light was not constant, then all these lights that would be coming and going would be going in different speeds based on your car speed, based on a plane speed, based on this speed and that speed, and it could kind of look like some sort of fun house. And we don't want that. This is a schoolhouse that we're learning in, allegedly. And this star is missing. It's not there. Where's the star? Where's the super baby star? Where'd it go? There it is. Oh, there it is. And if you really study it, you can see that this star actually moves even when it's not supposed to. Like, these are even, sort of, and then you're going to see this thing move again, and it's going to move while the other one doesn't move. That's typically what happens. So the speed of light is a constant because it has to be consistent, so therefore we don't have inconsistent. Like this plane speed of the light might look a little bit different because it's going, let's say, 500 miles an hour or 400 miles an hour. Boom. Star. How could it jump into my frame like that and stop? Incredible. So this is proof that we live in a simulation. No reason to do all those cosmic rays experiments. You can just call me up, guys, and I can film it for you again. And we can end this discussion once and for all. UFO Mike Cody, thanks for taking the time to listen. I really appreciate it. Very happy, very excited. Thank you, Larger Consciousness System, for this wonderful, beautiful, evidential experience that we live in a simulation. This is for the consciousness team, and this is for all the people that experienced things and had supernatural phenomenon. That just went further away, by the way, but could not prove it. That's what this video is for. For all the people who saw things that could not prove otherwise. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. I'm the underdog. Okay? And those videos the Pentagon showed you, oh boy. Guys, I knew those were fakes a long time ago. That's an F-18 pilot filming another F-18 pilot. And you got wings and little things sticking out. And then after that, you got a blob in the middle because they use a FLIR near infrared camera, and they use that as a seeker. And the heat resonates and creates a bulb-like disc in the middle of it, and the 2 points sticking out are the wings, and the other one's the nose. Can't see the tail, really. So I knew that thing stunk. Anytime someone like me has better footage than the military-industrial complex, only worth about $10 trillion, runs the world, and you got me as better footage, yeah, Houston, we have a problem. There, remember, I'm not going to knock the military because I don't feel like being bumped off by the DOD, but I will tell you this. There's a problem when one man has better footage than the entire entity of the military-industrial complex. And military, remember, they Patton had an army across England. They blew up tanks with air. They were fake soldiers, fake this. Part of their agenda is deception, and they will use it against their own public. And they're deceiving you around the UFO topic. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. One more time as my battery's about to die. For those of you who still think you live in a physical, objective, real reality, I shall be the first person to prove we live in a simulation. And I want to thank the pilot of that plane. It's probably the larger consciousness system creating a fake plane for me. Oh! Hey, wait, there's another smaller star next to it, I think. I got pattern recognition. You're right, Michael. Here it comes. Yes, larger consciousness system. Guys, don't thank me. Thank the larger consciousness system. This was a gift from God. And I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Love you all.